In this video, we're going to be talking about the Lucilius raid and explaining the mechanics of the fight, as well as how to approach it to beat it. I've done this a few times with friends, and once with AI using different characters, so I plan to explain all of that. If you enjoy Relink guide content, make sure to subscribe to the channel because it does help me out a lot. One thing before going into the fight itself, which I think is very important, and I want to save everyone time and a headache, is that the rewards for this mission let you trade for unique sigils that all have the damage cap up trait and a unique trait that increases damage caps even more and have a unique effect at level 30. These are not super necessary or vital to run since the cap increases additive, so instead of a 40% damage boost, it'll realistically only be a 5 to 10% boost, and you may lose out on the abilities to run even more defensive or utility-based sub-traits like Guts, Potion Hoarder, Quick Cooldown, and the like, which are very nice for this fight. So weigh that in mind, you cannot do extra damage if you are dead. In addition, they cap out at level 30 and cannot be upgraded with Azurite Splendors. However, they are affected by the Sigil Booster effect from Terminus weapons that increase all Sigil traits one level, which means you can save a lot of materials in time by only upgrading them to level 14 if you use them, since you will still hit the level 30 cap with level 28 plus the 2 from Sigil Booster, which saves a lot of material that are harder and more annoying to get. For the actual sigil setup I used for the fight, it changed a bit depending on the character I used, but in general, more defensive sub-traits are very nice, especially when doing this for the first time and before getting really good at timings and dodging. Nimble Onslaught, Guts, Aegis, Auto Revive, and Potion Hoarder are all fantastic traits to run. Stun Power and Link together are also very useful in this fight since getting up Link attacks and Link time is extremely useful. Alternatively, the Flight over Fight cheese with Lancelot, which is how I clear with AI, can work great since the AI are already fantastic at dodging. Let's get into the fight. So apologies for muted audio, I had a Discord call kind of going on over this, so I didn't want that to be kind of in the way here. So to start things off, he always starts with Paradise Lost. Now, if you have a Vayne, you can very easily just immediately Vayne Bubble and dodge the entire beginning mechanic here, Paradise Lost. If you do not have a Vayne Bubble, then my recommendation is to try to dodge the ground AoEs. That's what we were doing, or what I was trying to do with it when we were not doing the Vayne Bubble. If you're able to dodge the ground AoEs at the very last moment, you get a invincibility, especially if you're running Nimble Onslaught, which helps in dodging the rest of the mechanic, because that's the easiest part to dodge, I would say. He will usually follow this in with a move that pulls you in. This is an easy time to use a couple skills on him. Then there will be like some spheres coming from the sky that kind of just gradually expand outwards. That's usually pretty easy to dodge just by kind of dodging inward with your dodge move. Or you can guard if you really need to. Shouldn't be a huge issue, though. So I'm playing Rosetta here, which means he moves around a lot, so I had to constantly kind of replant roses. I don't really think she's that amazing in this fight because of that. But the really good thing about her is that I was able to set up my 30% defense boost with the roses that I have and just leave it up the entire fight. That's just kind of the safest way we were able to kind of approach this, and I do like that part of it. But otherwise, it is a little bit difficult to kind of keep the roses planted on Lucilius just because he does move around a lot, which makes her a little bit less efficient damage-wise. But the utility offered is still pretty nice at the very least. And having something like Lost Love is really nice for the Link Gauge burst damage as well. I do like that as well. So otherwise, once you get to about 80 to 85%, he's going to go into 7 Trumpets, which is basically the 12 lever special move he has, where he does a bunch of different things, and you kind of have to solve the mechanics of each of them, so you can prevent yourself from getting a max HP down debuff, which will affect you the entire rest of the fight, which is definitely not something that you want to happen. So he's going to start with these little circles on the ground. When you walk over a circle, every other circle of that color will stay lit up, and you need to walk over all of them in that color. And you want to avoid the purple circles on the ground because those will deal damage to you. So this one's not too difficult. Just make sure you walk over the circles of these corresponding colors and all your allies are on the same page when you do that. And you're able to solve this. You just do all 4 colors in a row and it's not too difficult. You're able to easily solve it before he's able to use a special move. Secondly, here he's going to summon 4 orbs in the center. When you hit damage these orbs, they are going to kind of send a AoE out to other orbs on the field, and you have to break those to kind of end and resolve this mechanic. This is not too terribly difficult either, as long as you have basically your allies covering all corners of the field. You're able to pretty easily solve this as well. Just make sure you avoid the laser AoEs. It's not really too big of a deal here. And the final thing is just going to summon 3 weapons, and you have to defeat the health bars of them in a certain amount of time. They'll do occasional AoEs on the ground that you have to dodge out of the way of, but otherwise they're not too difficult to avoid either, and there will be an AoE on the edge of the arena occasionally as well, too. So that's something you just have to avoid as well. Otherwise, not too terribly difficult here, but you want to make sure you solve all these mechanics to prevent that max HP down debuff. Once that's solved, he is going to use the last of the 12 labors, which is just a charge meter for Paradise Lost. The way you solve this is just use SBA. You're not going to be doing too much damage to him in the meantime, but you can get a little bit of additional damage, but you're probably just going to want to use SBA here. A full burst will basically stop him and also allow Sandalphon to attack with another SBA as well, triggering an overburst, which is a unique mechanic for this fight in particular. So that's just kind of the general strategy here. Ideally, you do not build the link meter up here, because if you do, you will not have a link attack you'll be able to do afterwards, because you'll get 100% link time after this as well. And ideally, you'll be able to use link time after this. One of our allies died at like the worst time here, and the auto-revive was too slow to trigger the link attack, so we were unable to do link time immediately after this, unfortunately. But not really a huge deal. We just activated link time a little bit later, and it didn't really matter too much here. So you get to see some really cool cinematics here at this point in the fight. And he'll try to use Paradise Lost, and Sandalphon will counter it, and just basically go into the rest of the normal part of the fight here. Just make sure if you have any like relevant defense buffs like Rosetta or Siegfried, you kind of activate them right after this phase to keep yourself alive a lot easier. Like I said, we were all basically running Guts and Revive to kind of give ourselves a nice safety net for this kind of fight, since even his regular attacks can be really annoying and do a lot of damage too if you're not careful. So he'll usually kind of do the same kind of attacking patterns. The main really dangerous one, normal attack he has, is like this really fast laser attack that he can do. So that's one that is really dangerous. I trigger my love loss there to try to trigger the link time faster. Unfortunately, like I said, our ally was dead, so we were unable to go into link time here, which is a little bit unfortunate. Not the biggest deal in the world, though, since we were all just kind of still doing fine on revive potions and critical meter at the very least. So he has a couple attacks like a sword slash as well, so you may want to try to get behind him if you are close to him, or if you're not a character who can really attack from range as effectively. We get a break here as well. When he goes below 60%, he will trigger the second phase of the fight, where he will change forms and his attacks will get faster and even more dangerous. So another cinematic is going to happen here. But otherwise, the fight doesn't change too much. He's going to use a special move again. We have Vein Bubble for the start of this at the very least. So if you do not have a Vein Bubble, he is going to summon slow fields under these AoEs. So you're going to want to kind of run around the arena in a way where you leave yourself enough room to kind of space out so you can dodge the other forms of AoE here. For us, when the Vein Bubble ended, we were able to just kind of run out and just dodge a little bit after that. Try to dodge over these ground AoEs here for invincibility. I failed there because I'm bad. But I did succeed the second time there. That's kind of how you would approach it. And getting that invincibility can help in just kind of dodging the rest of the things. He'll do one last AoE there that you can dodge at the end of that as well, before just kind of going back into his normal attack patterns again. So the main way you want to approach that if you don't have a Vein Bubble is just make sure you're placing the slow fields in a way where you're still able to easily dodge everything. Because you don't want to have those just kind of interfering with where you can run and where your patterns are. Do end up dying there because I'm bad and wasn't able to avoid that AoE. Have auto-revive, though. That's one of the reasons the defensive sub-traits are really good, because I'm still able to keep my 3 potions, and in 2.5 minutes, I'll have auto-revive back, so that's really nice at the very least. Unfortunately, dying with Rosetta means my Rose level's reset, so I'm stuck at level 1 again, and I'm going to need to not only reset those, but also reapply the defense buff. You see there, without the defense buff, it's much easier to die. I just got one-shot immediately because of that, which is really unfortunate. So, have to get up and replace my roses again after using a revive potion. This was not a very well-played section of the fight for me at all, unfortunately. But it was our first clear. It was only we were only like a few attempts into this. We do finally get the link time, though. This instantly sets the roses to level 4. And now I'm able to kind of finally use my Iron Maiden Spiral Rose combo, which does a really high amount of damage, especially during link time. So that's very nice at the very least. Also able to trigger Love Lost pretty easily, since I'll immediately get level 4 roses back, which is really nice. And we also have our SBA now, so we're able to kind of use that when he goes into a Paradise Lost here again to stop this from happening one more time. So our EO starts the SBA trigger here. And it's pretty simple from here. I make sure to summon our roses on top of him. And I need to make sure to activate the defense buff when I can. But for now, since we're just doing damage to him, I just focus on doing that for now. One of the roses already has a defense buff on it, so that's still applying the defense buff to us. So that's probably why I wasn't worried about immediately applying the defense buff on everything here. So we're able to stop the Paradise Lost. He's at 25% health now, and now he uses his this move again. This is the same thing he used at 60% health when he triggered this form. So once again, we do the exact same strat with the Vayne bubble. Vayne is really good in this fight because of the bubble, as you can imagine and as you have seen. We also have 100% link time again after using SBAs, so we didn't really get punished hard for missing the first link time. So that's really nice as well. I've still got all my blue pots if really needed as well for healing. I've still got 2 revive potions. I'm in a pretty good spot here. Now, this is our first time, I think, getting this far in the fight, because I think it was our 3rd or 4th attempt, something like that. I don't remember exactly where it is. I tried to dodge over that field to get the AoE there. I tried to dodge over that one as well, but I still apparently had invincibility, and I didn't get the invincibility buff on that, and I kind of just ran into the other AoE because of that, so that was really unfortunate timing there. I had to use another revive potion, sadly. Not the biggest deal in the world, though. I'll make sure to apply my defense buff again when I get revived. And we're still in an okay position here. And at this point, we're able to trigger link time again. Of course, him going into Paradise Lost means we're unable to activate it. I tried to use my Lost Love there so we can trigger it here. This is why Stun Power is good. I don't know if my allies were running it here, but if they were, we probably would have been able to trigger link time there instead of having to dodge this Paradise Lost. So that is why Stun Power is really good in this fight. If we had a little bit more Stun Power, we would have gotten the link attack off there, gone into the link time, stopped him from using this attack at all. But because he was able to get that off, this is a lot more dangerous now, as you can see. Because we don't have Vayne Bubble up for this, we had to try to dodge the attack normally. And didn't end up going super well. I had to use my last revive potion and my auto revive, so that was really unfortunate there. I need to learn to dodge that a little bit better. I was relying a lot on the Vayne Bubble and just negating it every other time. So in future fights, I will be better at that. But just kind of learning here. This is the day 1 clear, the really fast clear after about an hour or so. So it's a learning process. And this attack was completely brand new to us. I didn't really know what to expect here, so this didn't go amazing either. So this part doesn't really seem to do damage to you, but it'll basically summon AoEs afterwards that do a lot of damage. Because I don't really think I took damage from this part, but once he summoned this part, I just kind of dodge into an AoE there because I'm bad at the game, and I was like, okay, we're fine on critical meter. I will just kind of sit here, wait till this ends, and then I get revived by any teammate as well. And now he's at 16%. If we're able to trigger link time here, we know we can win, so that's just kind of what we're doing at this point. Because he doesn't have anything new at this point. We have seen the last new thing he has. The only other new thing he has is just the DPS check, which he'll activate under 10%. The earliest I've seen it is 8%. That's the laser attack as well. That was really bad. So I did not play this last 25% of his health bar well at all, as you can see. But as long as you know what to expect, it's not the worst thing in the world. We do have to dodge a Paradise Lost again, unfortunately. But I think we do have Vayne Bubble for this one at the very least. Vayne is currently skill sealed for a little bit longer, so we had to wait for him to get out of skill seal. So I dodge an attack to get invincibility, and then I'm able to safely dodge into the bubble because of that. Now, the Paradise Lost lasts longer in this form, so the Vayne Bubble doesn't quite negate the entire thing, but it negates enough of it to where we're okay after this at the very least. And at this point, like I said, he's just basically repeating mechanics. We were unable to trigger link time there or get an SBA to stop him, but next time he does it, if he does it again, we would have had SBA to stop him. But I think we're able to end this before that happens. So this was not the absolute greatest played fight in the world, and I think more stun power would have done us a lot of benefit for just triggering the link time on that earlier one, since we were very close, and that would have probably just allowed us to end the fight very, very easily. So EO just goes ahead and triggers SBA there because we're so close to ending the fight, and this will this is going to send him into his the end. This is his DPS check here. So we have link time up, so it's really, really easy to make sure we don't die here. And that is essentially the fight. As long as you understand the mechanics and get really good at dodging, it's not too terrible. You probably want either a coordinated team, or you want to kind of set up your AI, because having AI is really helpful and useful in this fight because they're able to basically dodge everything. A lot of people I have seen got their first clears with AI just because, even if it takes a little bit longer, just because the AI just doesn't die, which is honestly really beneficial for a fight like this where it's very easy to die. Although I don't think it's as fun as playing with friends. That's the only thing. Like I said, I was also able to get a clear with Siegfried with the same group of friends here by using the debuff immunity and 70% defense buff at good times to kind of dodge additional damage as well. And also, Siegfried has really high stun power, so that helped a lot. And then finally, I also did an AI clear with Lancelot here. So I had EO, Rosetta, Siegfried, AI. These are not even really set up to like do super amazing things, but because of the fact that Flight Over Fight is really broken, I was just kind of able to just kind of spam the Y button and just kind of dodge my way to success. I made a guide about this exact build, so if you kind of want to look into that and see how this was happening and how this happened, you can just kind of look into that. But just kind of spamming the mirror image and the dodge ability just allows you to kind of stay invincible pretty much the entire fight thanks to Flight Over Fight, and you're still able to basically hit your damage caps and do a decent amount of damage in the fight to kind of clear the fight without too many issues. And like I said, the AI is just really good at dodging as well, so they were able to kind of stay alive and not have too many issues in this fight. I don't even have Potion Hoarder, as you can see in the bottom right of the hand corner here, and this is still not too bad to do. I'm going to skip ahead towards the end of the fight now, because I just don't think it's really that beneficial to show off everything here. But you kind of get the idea. As long as you're just kind of spamming the button and don't make too many mistakes here, you should be able to clear even without this. So, like I said, AI clear, Flight Over Fight's broken. We did get the max HP down, that was the only thing, but besides that, not too big of a deal. So if you're looking for a way to clear and you don't trust randoms online, you don't have friends or something, you can clear with AI without too many issues, and Flight Over Fight's just an easy way to kind of do that here, as you can kind of see. I think that is probably going to cover it for this video, though. If you have learned something and enjoyed the guide and kind of understand how to approach the fight now, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and please look forward to my future content on the game. I'm planning to make a video covering the patch and all the changes that the patch brought and all the nerfs to the characters and all that kind of stuff and how it kind of changes the game a little bit. And I also plan on making a tier list pretty soon, so please look forward to that. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful and blessed day, and hopefully I'll see you back here soon.